Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Aeon. Okay. And let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say? You can probably hear TT, she's over there eating, chowing down before she tries to force me to go to bed with her. She is ready to go to sleep. It's been cold, a little colder today, and definitely getting into that hibernating mode around here. Okay, and also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Okay, and it is free to subscribe. Okay, so now this one looks like it says Sam or Jam right in here. And I'm sorry, I'm trying not to sniffle. It's just, I'm trying not to do it, but it happens. So it looks either like a J or an S right here. And then we have an A and then an M. So Sam or Jam, maybe. And now we have, it looks like maybe a feminine formation here holding the hand of a small child. And it looks like the small child is kind of holding either a snake or a lightning bolt. It looks kind of like a snake by the tail, but it also kind of looks like a lightning bolt. Either way, this really is a symbol of great knowledge. And I feel like, I almost feel like there's a sense of looking at yourself as you have reconsidered some of the things that understandings that maybe you came to as a child, things that happened situationally, things that maybe you were exposed to, or interests that you had, things that were really driving forces of your love for knowledge, for learning, passions, and so on. But, as you get older and you get busy, you have a life, you have many things to do. Some of these things kind of get put down, and sometimes, they are forgotten. We look back one day and we think, oh my goodness, do you remember when and my one today but in the last few weeks, I've been really considering, whenever I can find the time, to get back into latch hooking. And I think I've talked about that in another reading or two, but I had a grandmother she was a great grandmother. We called her a Baba, actually, or Baba is actually the right term. And she latch hooked, and I loved to do also latch hooking when I was a kid. And sometimes one thing or another will set off a series of thoughts that bring it all back to the forefront of your mind. And I feel like this is something where you are revisiting those different parts of self, the different eras of your life. And I don't think that this is in a way that is too awfully difficult. I think this is a place of power, and that we have that lightning bolt, that snake, and the snake is the knowledge, right? So, and I want to look at the card, and this is very much the same in some way. We have the feminine mother figure here, which would be Nuit, okay, and then we have the child, okay, but we also have Horus, which maybe would double as the adult figure, but I always say this wrong. I'm trying to think how my husband told me it's supposed to say. I always call them Harpocrats, but it's Harpocrates, I think. And that is the child form of Horus. And we know he puts his fingers on his lips in that shh, the silence, right? The space for growth, gestation, listening for the seeds to be planted. And so the secrets, the mysteries. And so we look at this and we see this evolution, these many sides of self, the self as the universe, the self as the archetypes, and the different eras, the revolutions of life. Okay. And so I do believe there is a turn towards self-mythology here. You maybe are documenting some of your stories, some of your past. Maybe you are documenting family stories. Maybe you are somebody who is really into or getting into genealogy, building a family tree or something like this. Whatever it is, I think that this is a wonderful place to draw upon some of your original inspirations. And now I think, often, and this is something that my husband and I actually talked about extensively some months and maybe even a year ago. But we had talked about this question that we often receive from people who are having readings or, we find in our lives that are asking for some kind of, insight about how they are feeling stagnant, how to, get their, find some kind of focus or a way forward. And something that I think that is very useful when we get into these situations is to really stop and contemplate, to really travel back into those early years of your life and think about what are the things that you spent your time with. What were the activities that you found quite enthralling? And as a child, you lose time. I mean, really, playing make-believe and coloring and building things with sand and dirt and, going out exploring the backyard and the park and, maybe riding your bicycle for hours on end. And it doesn't get boring. Not like it might get boring now. But this is a good exercise, because when we start to really focus in on what are the things that we got into and these really are kind of meditative flow states when you're young, right? And these are the places that we spend a lot of our lives trying to recreate, trying to find things that are interesting, inspiring, fulfilling, distractions or places of, if you are creative, we talk a lot about those flow places, right? When you're painting or when you're, I don't know, like doing, using a wheel to throw a pot, and you are really lost in that moment. You just are one with the materials that you are creating with. And so looking back into these places, thinking about what was it that really was that thing for you, or what were those things for you, and bringing them forward into your life right now. Finding a way to bridge those old activities into the life you have now. Maybe it won't look the same. Maybe it's a little bit different. But, for instance, if you really love to draw, right? Maybe this is something that you can begin with once again. Get yourself a notebook. Take it around with you. Start sketching things. Be that person that goes to the museum and sketches the paintings or the drawings or the sculpture or whatever. Go to the coffee shop, sketch the people walking by, the people drinking coffee, whatever it is. Just get into the practice of doing something that relates to your childhood activities. And I know it might sound silly, but really, honestly, there is, it's like fitting through a little doorway into a room that is enormous, and there's so much space to spread out to become so much more of what you are than what you have been. You've been confined, confined to things that maybe you just don't find all that fulfilling anymore, right? And we all do. We all find ourselves in these places. We're just going through the motions. I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know how to get myself going anymore. I don't even want to get up in the morning half the time. And these feelings, they're normal feelings. We all have them. We all get into these places. But we must make the decision to do something about it. And so sometimes we have to do the silly little activities, the silly things that are going to break us free of it. And so, I look at this and I think that this is a place where you're really, and I don't know that you're feeling uninspired, but I think that you are really feeling kind of nostalgic. You're into that self-mythology. I think that there's a natural instinct to kind of travel those old rooms, look in them, see what's there, and I say this and I'm thinking of the interior mansion. If you could imagine your life as a mansion and every room was a period or an era of your life, or it was a big event, or whatever, what would those rooms look like, right? So this is what I mean when I say that. Okay, let's see. We do have a house right at the middle as we were talking about that. It does look like a house right there. So we do at the middle of everything have a home. It looks like it is, firmly at the top of a hill. And I feel like it looks like a little angel here. We also have a hummingbird, but we have an angel kind of blessing the home. And I wonder if you have felt a presence in your living space. If you have felt like there has been a little bit more light in your home. I can always tell when I'm starting to feel like things are going a little bit haywire for me. When I look at things and they feel more disheveled than usual, even if they're not, if the colors seem just a little less bright, if everything just feels dark and kind of dingy and like I just really need to wipe everything down and I'm just kind of feeling very sluggish and all these things, then I know, right, something's going on. I'm starting to feel maybe a little melancholy. Maybe my cycles are, I'm going into a different part of my hormonal cycle or whatever it is. But then there are those days I wake up and it looks like the house is bright Everything is shining. I'm excited to, get up and click my heels and get about the business of the day. And it feels like there is really an angelic resonance, that anything is possible, that I am receptive, I am open, my mind is open, my heart is open, I am ready. I am ready, I am ready. And I feel like this is really kind of that energy that is, kind of flowing about the house. And then we have the hummingbird. So busy, multitasking. Your brain is sharp right now. Okay, there's not a sense of cloudiness at all. And so a good time to be getting things done, enjoying your the tasks, and making use of this good feeling. Now, let's see what else. I see we have a big T right there. Oh, okay. So we have a child who is holding, it looks like I don't know, almost like a crab. And then we have maybe an older person, and it looks like we have a fire right here. So cooking together. Yeah. And that's interesting. It's a beautiful image because it seems like there is a shared effort, teamwork, companionship. Really, I feel almost the love of a father and child. Okay, just this really intense sense of security, of being shown how to do something, and feeling, protected and safe. And being around the fire really is a sense of protection. And I think that's really kind of an ancient feeling. As we know, the fire was something that was also used to ward off animals in the night. And so this is a place that feels a little more safe than being out there in the dark. And to be together, cooking a meal, creating sustenance for one another, with one another, that is a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And, I wonder if this is a relationship that you had with a father figure, with your own father, maybe a grandfather, and something that seems to be very close to your mind right now. We also have a heart, and we have a rose. Okay, so with the heart, I feel like there is a sense of, passion, love, but it is an anatomical heart. I'll get it right. And so, I really do. I feel like this is a sense of the heart chakra really being activated. There's a sense of peace and fulfillment in this work that you are doing. You are lifting yourself up through it all. And that is powerful. It is powerful. We also have the rose, which I feel like there is a mystery here. The rose often is a symbol of the mysteries, the unfurling of, and coming into knowledge. So I would not be surprised if through this sacred work, this self mythology that you are kind of, parsing through, that you found something that you did not previously know, some kind of mystery opening up unto you. Okay, now let's see what we have over here. We have the symbol of the fish. Okay, and then we have, and I would love to lie to you, and I wouldn't love to lie. I would love to say to you that I know what this pose is called. I know it feels nice on your back though, this yogic pose. I always forget what they're called, but I feel like there is a sense of a very strong posture. Okay, but it is kind of in a prone position. And so I do feel, and actually, as I'm looking at this, it looks like Nuit. If you can see, we have Nuit, which is the blue across the top here. You can see, almost in the Omega. But Nuit is the goddess of the sky, the grandmother, the cosmos, the origin of all things. And then we have her kind of right here. And this is this bridging posture. It's very sturdy, okay? And I feel like there's a sense of power here. And a sense of protection, a sense of almost coming into this kind of ancient and primordial aspect of self. Okay, and I feel like there is a sense of protecting yourself through this work. And I think, whenever we do kind of go digging through our past, we do have to kind of really, take care of ourselves, because it's not always easy. It's not always easy to go, looking through those things. And so, I think really here, it's not only just that the universe has your back. I feel like you, as the universe, have your back. You're taking care of yourself very well here. We also have the eye, okay? And so you have a clear vision of what you are looking at. Okay, and I feel like, often when we really do go looking back on things, and I know this mostly for myself through therapy, going back as the older, the different cycles of your life, right? You gain different perspectives. You look at things that you've maybe thought about before, and suddenly they seem quite different. The tone of it seems different. There are a lot of things that I used to think were so very serious, and as I've gotten older, I realized, well, that's just, things happen, and it's human nature, and, things go wrong and whatever. Now, at the same time, things that I found very funny and frivolous have become much more serious as an adult. I think back, I think that was horrifying, that was a really scary situation. And here all these years, I thought, oh, it's so funny, or, how stupid, or whatever. And it absolutely was not. It was not, And so we look back with these eyes, and how things look, changes. It absolutely does. So we have to be in that posture of strength to some degree, taking care of ourselves, being ready for things to sometimes be devastating, right? Sometimes that happens. Now, with the fish, I think this is a beautiful sign of emotional abundance. I think this is important work that you're doing, and I think that, it really is something that is about purification, moving out old energies, blockages. And I also think that, there's just a sense of fortifying self, but also really coming into a real position of power in your own story. Okay. I feel like there is a sense of really taking a deep ownership of your story, right? And that's important. I think that's really important. TT. She's gonna break the door down. So anyways, let's take a look. I'm gonna take a little drink. I'm trying to keep it quiet, but my goodness, my throat is just dry. It's dry. I'm sick. I'm trying not to sniffle, but you know what? It's just hard. So we're going to do the Happier Me affirmation cards, and I'm going to go ahead and flip through. We're going to look at this together. It says, I choose to feel calm and relaxed right now. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And it says, this is an excellent exercise of letting go. Put one hand on your heart and feel your hearth breathing. Take 3 deep breaths and slowly come back to your normal breathing. While doing so, just let go. Now let's read it again. This is an excellent exercise of letting go. Put one hand on your heart and feel your hearth breathing. Take 3 deep breaths and slowly come back to your normal breathing. While doing so, just let go. Okay. Let me know if that helped. All right. Aries, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to bed. It's time. I'm going to have some hot tea and I'm going to bed. But I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor and such a privilege to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. If you would like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean so much to me. I absolutely love to connect with you. And it's one of my favorite things about this channel is the ability to do so. Okay. Again, I love you. We will talk soon. Where's this cat? Where are you? There you are. Hello. TT will not come up here to say hello, but she is running around. She accidentally got locked out of the rest of the house. She's stuck in here with me. So, anyways, we love you. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk very soon.